Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. First day back to work. How's everybody? Good morning, Dolly. Dolly says, welcome in, Nonya Sis. Buttercup Chatters, please hit the like and subscribe button. Almost forgot. Hi, Carolyn. How's it going? Tuesday tea time and good morning. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Carolyn. Hi, Dolly. Carolyn says, hello. Good morning, Angela Atkinson, my niece. Good morning, Chatters and Buttercups. Yes, Buttercups in the house. Y'all ready for Tuesday? Might be a good day. Maybe we'll make it over to the restaurant. What do you think? We shall see, right? And then let's see. Who do I have? Dolly. Dolly says, good morning, Carolyn. Angela Atkinson. Carolyn, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Dolly. And that's from Angela Atkinson and Carolyn. Ooh, it's cold. Carolyn is saying, hello, Angela. Hi, Doreen. Welcome in. Welcome in. She says, good morning to everybody. My mouth is watering for that beautiful cup of tea. It does look good, doesn't it? It does. It's a different one than last week. Good morning, Gwen. Gwen says, good morning, Nonya and friends and family. Hi, Dolly. Hey, Janet, what's happening? Good to see you. If something pops off today, I'm going to jump back on probably around 2. So let's see what they have planned for us. Did anybody catch the part 2 of Shayla and Piari last night? Carolyn says, hi, Doreen. Did anybody catch part 2? It was on the other platform. Gwen says, please like, share, and subscribe. Yes, please do. Nonya, did you hear Dave raise his voice at Melissa? Of course I did. Oh, yeah, I did. Dave was not feeling that. Definitely not feeling that one. I did put, I posted a question. Hi, Betty. Welcome in. Welcome in, Betty Bush. How are you, doll? Good to see you. You saw part 2, Carolyn? Hey, Magnolia, what's happening? Magnolia saying hi to everybody. Or hey to everybody. And Janet says, nothing, spend time with my grandbaby yesterday. I'm so happy. How's your is it a grandbaby? I'm sorry. Is it a grandbaby? Well, any grandchild is a grandbaby, right? Dave was not playing about his Amber. So I posted a question. Magnolia says, please hit the like button. Hey, Nisi, how's Magnolia? Just love that name. Love my magnolia tree. Let's see. I cannot see this. Oh, she's an 8-year-old. She's still at a precious age. I think I'll put these on the screen. I just hate because they cut off part of my face. Let's see. Let me see what happens. Blessings, Magnolia, says Angela Atkinson. And then we've got, oh yeah, I was getting to Dave, no doubt about it. Angela saying good morning. Hi, George, good morning. How are you, brother? Hey, Nonya and everyone. George and Artist. Hi, Artist. Is that her name? Hi, Artist. I'm Nonya. Nice to meet you, sister. Oh, better turn my phone over. That thing blinks all day long. Hi, Artist. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Keep George in line, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I joke around some, Artists, so bear with me. And I really don't like these comments up here. It's hard to see like my whole face. It's always cut off. when I look at the replay. I'm trying to be taller. Okay, so George is laughing. George, I'm glad you're here. Thought I scared you off yesterday. I was like, uh-oh, I lost my brother. Where'd he go? Come back. And then Dolly says, good morning, everybody. So I had asked, I started out with the question, hi, artists. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. And I'm looking forward. Any input you want to put in, please do. Okay. I'd like to get your take on it also. George is really cool. So I always like his take on things. We differ sometimes, but men and women are different, right? Like I say, that book is good. The old book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It's really true. I mean, we are just different. Magnolia says the twins have to go to summer school to graduate. And Faith is in there ready to fight until she hears, you know, basically you could get charged, honey, and you can go to jail because they're 18 now. So no juvenile. It would be jail time. Or they probably let her off, but, well, I don't know. That would be aggravated assault, huh? Artist has a lot of input. Okay, bring it on, artists. Bring it, please. I love different perspectives. And I am pro Amber, but I am definitely anti cheating. And I'm definitely married, and I'm not playing about my man. We don't do that. Let's see, Carolyn, her face cracked. So, hi, Carla. Good morning. I posted a question. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. That's why I was a little late. But I did post a question about Dave. Did you get the idea that maybe Dave has redirected some of his calls based on Amber visiting? Melissa may not have known that, but she definitely knows it now. So let's see how that goes. The guy is so structured and so relaxed around Amber. It's interesting. So, George, I'm still looking at you. I'm still looking for you, brother. I have 4 brothers, so I have 4 different takes. Good morning, Betty. Welcome in. The roses will be back. You know what Betty said to me last night? All I could do was crack up laughing. It was hilarious. She goes, did Anthony give you those roses? Because that for the wind down, I have some glasses of red wine. And then I also have some roses. And Betty said, did Anthony send you those? It was really cute. She just threw it out there out of the clear blue sky. Totally caught me off guard. Okay, Carolyn said, Hope had the nerve to ask if Brooke was graduating. The obsession is real. You know, I went through the videos and I refreshed, and some of them I didn't find. So I went over to the other platform and was searching for some. Let's see. Let's see what our comments look like this morning. It looks like it's going to be busy. Gwen says, thanks everyone for joining NONYASISCHAT chat. And I do appreciate you. So thank you. And my channel is New Artists. I was a moderator for O'Neill TV. And I had told my mom one day, I want to do what O'Neill does. And she said, well, you can do it. So here I am. My channel's it's about 3 months old. I'm still trying to get monetized because I had some issues. So but I'm not going into me. Not today. Not about me. He said he was not late for the meeting. They pushed it back, but Melissa didn't know. He has taken over part of his calendaring. Sip away, Carla. Carla loves to sip. She loves her tea. Magnolia, yes, Angela. You see my... Magnolia, everybody, is in love with Dave. So Mm-hmm. So we got to watch out. And he says, yes, Angela, you see my baby daddy raise his voice. Magnolia says, I love me some him. George says, I am so glad to see the defense of women from the past to skits. It's refreshing to see, regardless of the circumstances. Wow, George. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's a matter of respect and just doing the right thing, basically. I mean, these are skits. Some parts of it, I think, teach us lessons, but we could do better with educating our community. And that's why I'm always pushing for, can we have some positive from some of these storylines? Some of them, you know, because the kids can learn. I told you all about the guy that was on the other platform and he put up the muscle arm and he says, I am Anthony Dalton. You want to be Anthony? Really? Okay. But thank you, George. Thank you. You know, we don't want to go backwards. I'm not a feminist. Don't get me wrong. I'm married, kids, everything. Your everyday, regular sister, brother, aunties, uncles, I have them all. So, um, so thank you, George, for that. I really appreciate that. And it's just, live, just try to make the best choices we can make because we never know what's around the corner. Angela Atkinson is laughing. Magnolia, he is all our baby dad. Not mine. Y'all don't say that. My husband's home today. No, he's at the shop. He's at the Harley shop. Yeah, I'll be auntie. I'll be auntie for Dave. So Dave, stay in line, okay? Marilyn Dangerfield in her review made a good point that Dave told Melissa he was strategic. Yeah, I had that and I didn't want to put it. It was too long for the community chat, but I definitely picked up on the word strategic. Definitely did. I didn't miss it. And she said he was strategic might mean he's ready for her to act a fool too. Marilyn's right. I didn't see her post, but I definitely pick up on the strategic. In other words, right now my world is focused. So mind your business over there and stay out of my business over here. When the man redirected I'm sure certain meetings based on certain conditions, he was strategic in his planning. It's good to see someone finally have Amber's back. Don't like the cheating, but Amber deserves it. Amber has suffered like nobody else in these skits. We know why, but just bottom line, the fact that a woman has to go through that, or even men. I mean, men go through crazy women. Look at Dom trying to force Mike to have a baby. All I can say is wow to that one. Come on, Mike, bless. Wake up. And then Angela says, I'm sorry, I read that one. Carla says, hey, Angela. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Magnolia. Hi, Dolly. And then Magnolia says, hey, Carla. Hey, Carla. Hi, Carla. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. The subscription is free. You can change the notifications to whatever you want. You can turn sound down. You can do replays. You can rewatch something if you missed it. I joke around a lot, but I'm very serious about a lot of things that I say. Nonya, my comment wasn't very well received. No, George, not right now. And it won't be. And that's why I say buckle up, buttercups, like Grandpa used to say when he put us too deep in the back seat. We'd be sitting on top of each other and he'd buckle us in and say, buckle up, buttercups, because it's going to be a long, hot summer. It's going to get worse, George. George, you were here last year. I'm pretty sure on O'Neill TV. it's going to get hot. It's getting hot in here. And I did win a bet against O'Neill last year about Wayne. But yeah, Nonya, no, right now, it won't be. And it's sad to say, but I don't know, you know, and I've had people come in to tell me, and, in here, we try to relax and get ready for the day. It's not about, I try not to even bash Shayla. I mean, I don't bash her, but I'll get her. But Piari, she gonna hurt her own self with that drinking. Yeah, no, George, Nonya, my comment wasn't very well received, but oh well. Just think at moderator night for me. I don't know if you saw it, George, but I can hold my own, right? So, okay. Let's see. Amber's storyline is teaching the double standard between men and women. Look how they glorify Anthony's behavior yesterday, but beat Amber down for doing the same thing because she's a woman. Yes, they are definitely in the process of whitewashing. Cheers, everybody. I got my old standby cup. This cup is so old. But yeah, they're whitewashing Anthony. And so I honestly do believe, I call it a scientific experiment. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people, you know, we're grounded in what we believe. And I have an adult crowd, and I'm glad of that. But I mean, I like younger people also because they can get, fresh perspectives from what they might deal with, like Destiny, from what they may deal with every day. And I often wonder, and I really do, is Wayne trying to take the temperature or even make a change in societal norms? And right now, our societal norm, for at least where I live, is trying to go backwards. I ain't going back. That I'm not a feminist, but I ain't going back. And I said ain't. So I'm sorry. Okay, honey. My husband's leaving. Yeah. So expect it. And hi Juanita, good morning. I did make a comment about somebody saying I was an Amberite. No, I'm not an Amberite anything. I am an Amber fan. And we have different reasons that we like Amber. Me personally, I like all that she shares with women. She tells us where she shops. I mean, she shops at Ross, TJ Maxx, Akira, which is online. She shares her cleansing secrets like root soap. I mean, she just is like so down to earth. She appears to be. And she shows us how she juices, what she drinks. And this is part of why people like the Amber person so much, be it the character or the real person. Like she said, she's not a gatekeeper. And I appreciate that. But she told us that years ago as she grew. Okay, so that is partly why a lot of us may like Amber, not just the Amber character herself. Okay, and she's a single mom of a little boy, and he's a cutie pie, and he's always telling us, my mom, she only goes in the Gucci store when she goes to get perfume. So in other words, my mom don't buy this expensive stuff. And then artists, I don't know if you know, she does do a closed closet sale. Like I think she might do one maybe once a month, and it's a bidding show. And there are fans of Amber that are in my subscribers. They have purchased from her. They've won the bid. I mean, and we're not talking about expensive. Like, I mean, it's not cheap. Trust me, it's not cheap. But I mean, but it's not expensive. So it's like every day. And she'll put it up for bid and people bid on it. And if you win the bid, they mail it to you. So that because we love Amber's clothes. Amber is sharp all the time, but she doesn't wear that. She says she wears sweatshirts, jeans, and tennis shoes because she's a boy's mom, and they do boy stuff, you know. So artists, just for you, so you'll know why I'm an Amber fan, and other women here and men, they do have their take on Amber as well. But that's why I'm an Amber fan. Hi, Trapstar. And Juanita says, good morning, Nonya in chat. Trapstar says, good morning, everyone. Magnolia says, hi, Dolly. And Magnolia speaking to her mommy, Dolly. But not her real mom, but I don't think, but her mom. Read my comment. Which one, Angela? The one I just read about teaching the double standards? Oh, yeah. I've been screaming that we have been screaming that for the longest. Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely double standards. And then that's one time I agree with Shayla protecting herself. I do agree. And what's her name went on one? Piari? Wow. She was lit. And then they had to spray some guy. I don't know why was he watching them though. Did anybody pick up on that guy watching Shayla and Piari? Oh, you're listening? Hi, Juanita. Working and listening. Thank you as always, because I know that's what you do. But did you see that? Who was that guy? I mean, he was watching them and then he was there and ran out to see if they were okay. And Shayla maced him. And I'm thinking, but it wasn't, I didn't see it on YouTube. I was just cruising on the other platform. So, hi, Trapstar. Welcome in. Trapstar says, finally a grown man in Skitland. Yep. Dave just handled Melissa talking about Amber and getting into his personal business. This is how a real man checks people about his woman. Anthony would never. And I will say, Anthony comes across like a coward with other men. I don't think he's a coward. I think he doesn't care what they say to Amber. And I also think Artist, I have watery eyes. An Artist is George Sims's wife. And so that's why I'm addressing some things that we already know. But and I have dry eyes, so my eyes water sometimes, which is quite embarrassing. The other thing I was going to say, let's see, Anthony. And I wonder how much of that stems back to when Amber told him during that conversation about if she would pick a guy like him in high school, and Amber said no, because all the smart boys would always sit around and just judge with their gavel the girls, just judge them because they were, they were big shots with the good grades, where the guys like Wayne, the class clowns, were the ones that they tended to gravitate to, but not the stuck up smart dudes that are always talking, not all guys, of course, but there were guys like that in my high school. And there were so many of us, though, I didn't really have to worry about it. But yeah. So, what is this? Trapstar, yeah, a grown man. Carolyn Brown says, hi, Trapstar. Not mine either, Nonya. I'm Auntie. Okay. Okay. That sounds good. What Darren's sister told Mike about Dom was hilarious. And she talked fast. Oh, that girl can talk fast with her accent. But yeah, she did tell him, Nonya, it is so refreshing to be on your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. The mornings are really busy. The evenings are wind down. And then it's late, even though I'm trying to make it okay. But it's 10 o'clock at night for the East Coast. And then it's 11 CST. Is that right? It's 7 here. 10 EST. So yeah, 11. So it used to be later, but I moved it because there was no reason I had to be in that time slot. So I moved it up. And then Nonya, it's refreshing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, we just try to keep it real. And George says, I know it's ugly on those review streets, some dirty, dirty review streets. These days, I see you standing on 10. And I do, because I mean, I believe what I say. People are trying to see who they can sway in a different direction. Some of it's just clickbait. They want to know, like, young people, are they impressionable? Or can we make the people like us change our minds? And I see it. I mean, you take a psychology class, you learn this. And that's exactly what's going on. And it's a shame. So they'll, once in a while, somebody will come over, but they don't stay. I don't bash people, I don't ban people, or we'll put you in timeout or delete comments, because that's not what we're about. We're not here for that. You know, the skits are dark enough where let's get something out of it. At least try to. And that's what the wind down is for. And at one wind down, we talk music, we talk food, we talk about family, we just talk, just to chill out. Or we talk about skits. So once my monetization comes through, I am going to start showing pieces of film again. But for now, I just want the channel clear. Like no skit video, nothing. I want it clear. And the only thing I picked up 750 points yesterday. This is my third go round, but only because I had another channel that I didn't even know was there. So that was the problem. And Magnolia says, did I catch Dave telling Amber to go be great today and get that money? I probably missed that part because I was probably staring at Dave. I was staring at Dave where I was staring at my boo thing. I call my honey boo thing. And he just laughs. He thinks it's funny. I've been calling him that for 100 years. I don't know why he still laughs. And Dolly says, I'm not throwing any shade to others. It's very relaxing. Appreciate that, Dolly. Appreciate that. I mean, there's no need to throw shade at them either. They have their own opinions, and they are entitled to their own opinions. I just don't go over there because I just don't want to hear it. I don't, because it sometimes certain things like aggravate my spirit. Certain ugliness aggravates my spirit. I'm glad we didn't see a lot of kissing and stuff today with Amber and Dave. That was cool. But the ugliness does bother me. It triggers me. I don't want my blood pressure going up high and stuff again. No, we're not doing that another year. Angela says, there is some with Dave and Amber I notice, and I like Amber getting ready for work. Dave said, go get that money. Dave, stay home and do his business. I love that. I know they're going to do something to Dave, but for now, let's just enjoy it for what it is, because, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Hi, Nature. Good morning. Nature says, good morning, mods and chat family. Yep, we are here. And if anything pops off good, I'm going to come back on at about 2. And then we're still going to do wind down. I'm not going to break my neck on videos. I think I'm done. I don't think I need to do anything else except get my hours. So I just been like rewatching videos over and over and over. I just let them play. And I also want to sharpen myself on my delivery. This is not something that I normally do. I used to be a programmer for law enforcement and then also for healthcare. But doing this is something that's totally foreign to me. So I'm glad that I have such great people as subscribers, and it really helps me. And I listened to one video last night and I said, why am I talking about myself so much? So I'm going to cut that out. So I'm very, very self-critical. And then Angela says, hi, Juanita. Hi, Nature. I hate the Amberite label because it's used as an insult. I'm nobody's Amberite anything. I'm no, I'm none of those. Don't put me in a box. I am an Amber fan. And I did say that one night on a panel. I'm not, don't do that. Because I can think of a lot of names for other people. Y'all know I can. But I won't. I'm polite. I try to be. Otherwise, I have to be quiet. Hi, Nature. Nature says, I love that Dave checked Melissa and told her basically to stay in her lane. And then he is her boss. And no employee can really check their bosses without repercussions. Yeah, she thought she was about to do something this morning. She did. She got checked. And she needed it. Because remember, she just left from checking Ben and Anthony. Well, she wanted to check Anthony, but he was gone. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What do we have? Angela Atkinson says, yes, Magnolia. I just comment that I love that part where he said, go make that money. I'm going to watch that skit again. I was sitting there at the end just laughing at Melissa's legs. You see, I posted a short. I don't know if I'm going to leave it up, but she did the leg shake. I call it the shaky leg, not the snaggy leg, but the shaky leg. She's going to crash out eventually. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's going to crash out. Carolyn Brown says, good morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Nature said, good morning, Carolyn. And then we've got Carolyn, don't pay that no mind. It's hard. So, you know, Angela, I say that, and I always say it in here. I'm telling everybody, give yourself a hug, give each other a hug. We got this. But sometimes it is hard. It's like, I just go past it. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because the hate is real. And then when things change, they're going to switch back up to the other side, just like they did last year. Marion, good morning. Miss West. Hi, Nonya and Buttercups. Good morning, good morning. And she's saying hello to Magnolia. George Sims says, artist says, thanks for the Amber clothing information. Artist, she does it on Whatnot. And she's also bringing up her online boutique. Now, Amber is probably like a medium, and her weight fluctuates, but she's a medium. But she is bringing up, Marion, you probably know the name of her boutique. She's going to bring up her online boutique. She makes body butters, and I tried to buy one. Every time I try to buy them, they go out. But she's got this scientific like formula that she had made to make sure that people don't have reactions to it. I mean, she does a lot. I don't know how she does it all, but she does. And Nature says, Magnolia, hi, happy Tuesday. She does a lot, but it's on the Whatnot application or app. And she lets us know. We watch her, like I know Marion, Magnolia, a lot of people in here, they watch her a lot. So even I don't get to watch her that much because of this other stuff going on. But she does sell her clothes. And then I asked her about that white cowboy hat, but I was asking for somebody else. She said, yes, she was going to sell it. Carolyn Brown said some people were mad at Tamera's dad, saying she's grown. As a woman raised by my dad because my mom died when I was 11. Oh, I'm sorry, Carolyn. A female is never grown to a dad. And you are right. I think my dad tried to tell me something. I was like 30-something years old. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because in his mind, he was thinking about what he as a man would do. So having 4 brothers and our dad, we get to hear it. Hi, Sandra. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Sandra says, good morning, Nonya. Carolyn says he was watching them because Piari was loud. Oh, is that why he was watching them? Ooh, she was on a roll. And we've never seen her that drunk, right? And then they sprayed the poor man in the face with mace. But I mean, I understood that they were, they don't know who this guy is. Somebody's at my door. You guys, I have to put you on hold really quick, okay? Just a second. I'll be right back. Somebody's at the door. Just a minute. Just a moment. Coming. Yes. Hi. Hi.
So
Thank you.
You might gotta tell them to put a unit number call CPS and tell them to put it in the system, because if they don't accept it downstairs and then there's no unit, then it goes back to the school.
Okay,
usually.
I got you.
So usually, luckily the lady.
I'll tell you.
Let me just take a picture real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's not a huge.
I know. Thank you. I will. I'll tell them again.
Okay.
Okay. Whew. Sorry about that, and I forgot to turn the mic off. Okay. My apologies. Okay, so where were we? He was watching them. I think one of my brothers would do what Tamera's dad did. He was watching because Piari was loud and obnoxious. I was wondering what he was doing back there. And then he was not watching them when Piari grabbed the steering wheel and swerved. He saw it. He just went to ask if they were okay. And Shayla sprayed the man in the face with mace. So, is Shayla getting arrested today? Who knows? Okay. And then Nature says he could have been a random guy that wanted to see if they were okay. Then again, they were both drinking and was wise to take off. So who thinks that might be the drinks? You think that might have been sincerely having somebody send drinks to them? Because we know Angelina ran off to call Shayla on the phone, but I guess she hasn't gotten Shayla on the phone yet. I took my allergy pill, but I still feel raspy. Thank you, Gwen. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'm a little over 1,500 subscribers now. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. And then Angela Atkinson says, Carolyn, the car swerved. Piari grabbed the steering wheel, and the man saw it. I don't think he was planning anything. The only reason I say that is because when we first saw him, he was like, was he peeking out from like around a bush or a corner, or was he just watching because he heard Piari being so loud and obnoxious? That girl has some serious drinking problems. She might go to sleep for 2 days and not remember it. And then Carolyn says the car swerved. Angela said the car swerved. Piari grabbed the steering wheel. The man saw it. I don't think he was planning to do anything to him. The first thing that popped in my mind was, is that the guy that was buying the drinks? And Marion says Anthony was talking to Wayne. Flat out asked Anthony when the last time was he got some. Was that today? I didn't hear it, but I believe you. It's something that Wayne would say. Wayne and Anthony, women are God's greatest gift, and he's vulnerable. He is, and he's really going to be vulnerable to Denisha. If he tries to mess with Denisha, she's going to get him big time. Hi, Nature, Dolly says. And then, hi, artists. Everybody, please welcome artists in. That is George Sims's wife. So please say hello to artists. Artists, I hope you subscribe. But but you can always subscribe to Amber also, and it's free. I think. I mean, you can subscribe to her. When I joined her, she wasn't like charging or anything. I've been following Amber a long time, but you can always come here to check also because quite a few people keep up with Amber on the lives. And artists, hi, artists and George, welcome to Nonyasis Chat. So say hi to artists, everybody, please. That's George's wife, and I am glad she is here. So thank you. Okay, and let's see, what do we have next? Oh, Sabrina says hi, everyone. And did we hear Wayne making Tamera? Yes. And, I was just really artist's YT page soon to come. Good job. Good job. And artists, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you already, I didn't know YouTube. That's why I got in trouble with having like a channel that channel was from 2003. Because I only get on YouTube to say, how do I do such and such and such, right? I didn't realize I was building this channel on top of that channel, which is what caught me at a dead stop. So just keep that in mind. Make sure there's, you might already know, artists, make sure that you have a clean Gmail account for this one because it has got me trapped. I think I'm going to be okay. I just need to get my hours back because you did get penalized every 28 days if you don't hit the monetization level. This is my third time. And like these ladies know, and George, the only reason I'm still here is because of them. Because I could have walked away and went to Twitch or anywhere else. Oh, I should say another platform. But I really like the people that are my subscribers. I really do. And we will be looking forward to it. And we will subscribe and support you. Okay? Wayne acted like a grown child. Yeah, he kind of did. I understand they're both men. And I do understand that sometimes Tamera's dad is not the most respectful. But you can see he used to be OG player, you know? So him talking to Wayne that way doesn't bother me because Wayne is just as rude as he is. I mean, they're both right in their own right. Their delivery needs help. They both do. And actually, neither one is wrong. It's the delivery to me, just my opinion. Trapstar says, trying to sway people to believe wrong is right is the work of the devil. It is confusion. That's right, Trapstar. And that is what is going on. If we really pay attention and if we really think about the people that we have dealt with over a year or two or three, four, and we see what's going on, confusion. Not all of them. No, not all of them. Wayne's horns were showing in his sinister grins with Tamera's dad this morning. So I don't, wherever Alexis is, Alexis, come get your girl. We're going to find her another guy because I don't think Wayne is where she wants to be. We got to find her another man. George Sims, artist, says, there's always something to learn, even though the dark and negativity of the skits. Artist, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely. And so there is always something there. The only problem I have is that we never see anything come to fruition and we see a positive outcome. So That's the only part that I don't like. And artists, I also personally, um, I am pro marriage. Of course, I'm married, but I'm pro being married to the right person. And when you're mistreated or whatever it is, whichever spouse, then it's time to, you know, take a step back and start making adjustments, doing whatever you need to do, right? But yeah, I always find some kind of education in these. I would like for the younger people and people around the world. I'm talking countries I never heard of that watch these skits. So, can you guys imagine what they think about Black folks? If they really think that this stuff is real, oh, there used to be comments about, well, in my country, we do this and that and blah, 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 blah. I mean, okay, that's fine, but don't down my country because of what it is. Now, that I used to really have a problem with. But in saying that, it's just to let people know that there is a list of countries that you wouldn't believe that these skits are released out to. Who's the real audience? Is it us or is it someone else? I mean, and that's another reason I wanted this channel, because that's not who we are. Like, as a whole, we've got our problems just like any other country. So that's artists why I wanted this channel. I mean, I want it to be calm, you know. I mean, usually in the morning we talk about things like menopause, we talk about having babies, we talk about marriages. I've talked about my first marriage to a ball player. We talk about all kinds of things. We talk about medication. But when we have skits jumping off we want to talk about, then we talk about the skits. And I think that's why the algorithm was a little confused. Like, what's the tea and the wine and the skits? You know, but they all belong together. One is to get us started, one is to wind down. I tell you, George and artist, I dreamt about Melissa's vision board. I don't want to dream about her vision board. That reminds me of the bodyguard, the one, what's her name? Whitney, Whitney Houston had. So it's like, wow, the stalker. And then, okay, George, I will support. Put it in the chat so I can subscribe. She's bringing it up. She hasn't made it yet. Apparently, she's working on it. And artist says, yes, there's always something, even through the dark, we can see it. And I mean, and that's how we live every day. There's always some dark and then there's some light. And I'm with the shade. We know Magnolia's ready for the fight. But Magnolia, you know what I don't like on the other platform? All the fake pages. They irritate me to no end. They do. They just, ugh. And then, hi, Jen. Welcome in. Jen says, hi, everybody. Trapstar, the reviewers doing Wayne dirty work will have life consequences. God doesn't play about misleading his people. I thought I was the only one that like really thought about that, Trapstar. But Trapstar is not wrong. The reviewers doing Wayne's dirty work will have life consequences. God does not play about misleading his people. And hi, Abby from across the pond. What time is it? About 8 o'clock there? 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow? Hey, Buttercups. Hey, Buttercup Abby. Jen says, yes, Dave told her, go get that money. Keisha did say they were filming at the restaurant yesterday. So, again, I'm going to pop back on at about 2 if something, if something good comes on. And then, oh, by the way, we did see Genesis. Looks like she's losing the baby. And Libby took Terry's keys and threw them in the sink, like the garbage disposal part, I think, or down in the water or something. So he couldn't go see about her. Hey, Magnolia. Hey, Abby, my triplet. Yeah, you guys comment. You post quite a bit. That's simple. So I thought you guys knew each other. I was like, they must be warriors also together. Carolyn says, I'm through with Lauren. She has no redeeming qualities. There's something wrong with Lauren. She brought Dan to Delicia's house. There's something wrong with her. I don't I still think Dan might be worse because I think he's dangerous, but Lauren is just greedy. I mean, her greed knows no bounds, and she's going to be sorry. He already told her, don't push that button. So her mother said she was putting them in danger, and then she gave Cray Cray Dan Delicia's address. Lauren gave Dan Delicia's address. She's so foul. And she doesn't see anything wrong with it. Angela says, good morning, Simply. Trapstar says, I love how Dave supports and builds up Amber. He told her to go get that money. We've never seen that in any of her other relationships. Exactly. And I really want to see Amber when she walks into the restaurant. Let's see Amber boss up. Okay? Let's see Amber come back. Let's go, Bam. Let's go. Okay? And then, wow, I was hoping to see. Maybe we'll see it today, Angela. Maybe we'll see something. New skit, Anthony calls Denisha. So I will say I have stopped putting video on for now. So if you guys want to pull up your phones and watch it, that's fine. I'm just going to just read. So go ahead and watch the skit. And once I get monetized, I'm going to go back to putting some footage in, and then I'll take it out. But for now, I just want my channel straight clean across the board. I don't want anybody complaining about anything. I have worked tirelessly, and you have worked tirelessly rewatching lives and videos. So I've got 2,058 hours, and I need 4. And we did 1,000 hours last weekend before the cutoff. Well, this is a new 28-day cycle. My plan is to hit the target by Sunday. And when I say my plan, I mean that's what I can do, with my relatives, and they like watching me, which is a great thing. And somebody said, Angela Atkinson said, wow, do you remember the first time you went on O'Neill TV? She said, you were so bashful. And I was. I mean, I was bashful being there. I'm a little bashful around people I don't know. But once I feel like I'm comfortable around you, I do talk. But I'll always remember that, Angela. Wow, I was hoping to see the restaurant. So if it comes on, I want to say I'll pop over to watch it. But guys, gals, I have worked so hard. I mean, I have put in everything into each and every video, each and every skit. I removed 51 of my shorts. And I don't know if George has ever watched my shorts, but I take music requests. I put them into my shorts. I was the first person that I know of to do that. But I guess now it's a thing. But for now, that's why there's no music. I will go back to using it, but not for every skit, but for a lot of the skits, because I love the skits with the music. And then, so let us know, Marion, what happens, okay, with Anthony and Denisha. And then Alexa says Wayne is going to give Queen back her G-Wagon when they get back together. Alexis, you know what? For some reason, I believe you. Alexis is determined to get those two back together. But something underneath says if he doesn't, he's out for something. But I think they might end up back together, because I think she reminds him a little bit of Amber. And we know he still loves Amber, but Wayne is Wayne. But Tamera is fire. Like Magnolia called, I think it was Magnolia called her a heated pot. It was Magnolia. Trapstar, yes, Dave wants his woman who is his equal and his partner. I love it. And Dave says he's a protector and he's protecting Amber from Melissa. So he's got to know Melissa's got problems, right? And she's always talking about the girl from Arizona. And I'm curious about the girl from Arizona. Wonder if Melissa will mention to Dave that she met Amber's husband. That's a good question. I like that, Magnolia. Yeah, I like that. Let's see if we get another skit. Hmm, that would be interesting. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. Melissa, Melissa, keep getting into Dave and Amber's. Keep getting into Dave and Amber. He's going to fire her. She'd better tread lightly because she crossed the line this morning and he didn't like it. Remember the first one was about the key. He let that slide and I questioned it. Why did he let it slide? But this time he didn't let it slide. It's like he knows his calendar and he's controlling the calendar apparently when it comes to Amber and her visits or whatever for whatever reason. So no, Melissa, you didn't know about him already knowing about the meeting. How you gonna check that grown man? Because she's so used to doing it. And now what? Is she gonna crash out again? We shall see, right? So she was doing the cray cray line dance. She was, Carolyn. I said she doing the stanky leg, but her way. Oh, stay in your lane. That's right, Juanita. Stay in her lane. See, she thought all these years gave her the power to get in Dave's lane. Mm-hmm. Now, she already said what's different about Amber. Amber already sent you to the grocery store to get pancake mix. She did. She said, and then she got smart with Amber and said, well, I guess the assistant has to go to the grocery store. Well, maybe. Probably a good idea if you want your boss to eat. Or you could just say, hey, boss, Amber needs some pancake mix. You want to go to the store and get some? Nature, hi, good morning, my sis. Her foot tapping was humorous. Melissa knows how to act up, and she's trying to hide her composure. It's falling apart at the seams. I still don't know where that what movie she was in. She used to be on television, or maybe she was a younger Melissa. Maybe that was it. Maybe she was younger, but I know she's been on TV before. Carolyn, yes, Lauren would be looking for her own place to live. Exactly, Magnolia. How you gonna bring Dan up in that woman's house? And then he's questioning her about who gave her roses, and does King know about it? Dan's got some real issues. Mary says, I hope Dave and Amber work out because those two look like a power couple together. And Mary, that's why I think a lot of other people also, they're hoping that since they've taken a sledgehammer, Wayne has taken a sledgehammer to this marriage, that they will build a new storyline because something happened. You missed all the action this morning, Nonya. What did I miss, Miss Nice? I watched Genesis, Dave. I watched the part 2 of Shayla last night. I watched, I was trying to figure out who sent them the drinks. Was it Sincerely? And I also watched Faith threaten the counselor, the head counselor. Did I miss some more stuff, Miss Nice? Let me know, okay? Please, my dear. Hi, Carla. Carla says Anthony is a clown calling Denisha. His conversation was corny like a 16-year-old. You still being corny? And that's why girls like Denisha don't date men like him. But she's going to run his pockets, definitely. Nature, someone on Facebook said it was like tick, 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 boom on the floor stomp. And I deliberately took that little piece. I wanted her to do more with, her foot stomping, but I only got a tiny, tiny sliver, but I posted it anyway. I may take it down, but it was just, I didn't take the top of her. I just took her legs and I posted it as a short because she's standing there stomping like she's doing a line dance. Hmm. And then why he calling Wayne about Denisha like it is the first meeting of a woman. Now that part I did miss. I haven't seen that one yet. As soon as I'm off, I will definitely look at it. And then Nature says, Magnolia, that's deep. I didn't even notice. You didn't notice it, Nature? I even captured it and made a short out of it because she's stomping her feet again. She's doing that foot stomp that she does before she crashes. That's what she was doing this morning. And then she walked over to Dave and she calmed down. She did tap like 3 times, like ballet flats. I was hoping she did it more like 5 times, but she only gave us 3. But I did copy it and I did post it as a short. No music, no nothing. I just posted it, and only her legs because it's like she's gonna crash out. Melissa is definitely up to something. She wants to pull Dave away from Amber, and I think she's going to be in. Somebody, I should say, is going to be in for a rude awakening. I don't know if it's going to be Dave, Amber, who it's going to be. Carolyn says, oh, okay, wait a minute. New skit, Rome pops up on Piari at Shayla's. Marion, did Shayla call him to come and check on Piari? Because we know Ron is not like into Piari anymore, right? So, not sure what the purpose of that was. If you know, would you let us know? Because a lot of people are just watching. And again, once I get monetized, I will start showing video again. But we're going to do it in, segmented pieces. So you guys just tell me where you want me to start. So I got to get monetized so I can do these things. And then once you get monetized, you get more power behind the scenes of your channel. So you can make, different tweaks. And like even a short, I don't have to tear it down and rebuild it. Right now, I have to tear it all the way down and start from scratch. And when you're monetized, you don't. You can go behind the scenes and make changes. So there's a lot to do when you are monetized. And that's one thing that is great about you're basically certified. The channel is great. So thank you guys very much. Thank you for watching the replays because the replays bring a lot of hours. I mean, I got almost 1,000 since what, Saturday? Mm-hmm. And that old problem, it sounded like the guy was saying it would get wiped. It's almost like the problem was there and nobody ever pulled it. They just left it there. So maybe the system's kicking it out, but there's nothing wrong with the channel. And you guys all know about the summary that popped up on my screen talking about why do we support Amber so much? Why did you get rid of 51 shorts? I have dry eyes, artists, so my eyes do water sometimes. I have cataract, that's why. Let's see. Carolyn says, hi, Miss Nice. Good morning here at work. Good morning, Antoinette. I'm glad you're joining us. I am. It was nice to notice nature that escaped me. Good morning, Antoinette. People are saying hello to you. And then Abby says that's hardly anything to watch, just glimpse of her loading Wayne. Disrespectful self, so rude, but he calls Tamera childish. We know Wayne is childish. And tired of drunken Piari and Shayla. Yeah, even Annie. And we do call Anthony Annie sometimes. I call him Annie. Some people call him Antonia. Just because he's just that dude, man. It's like, come on, Anthony. Carolyn, that was an awesome comment. Ron is trying to check on drunk Piari, and Shayla's trying to stop him. Why? She doesn't want Ron to see that Piari's drunk. I want to know who sent the drinks. I believe Mr. Joseph should have stayed out of their business, but I do understand him. I agree. I mean, my dad did that to me, and I was in my 30s. And I was like, Dad, you're a little late, aren't you? I mean, I really don't need you. Really kind of don't need it. I mean, I have four brothers, so they all jumped on the bandwagon. It's like, God, but I appreciate them. I do. But my dad, he wouldn't come across like Tamara's dad does. My dad is a dad, and he'll take you and talk to you like a man. That's who he is. He doesn't come across like the OG, that type of thing. And my brothers, on the other hand, that's a different story. Sabrina's, yeah, I got that one. I'm sorry. And then Antoinette. Nature says, Antoinette, good morning. Thank you for joining Nonya's Tea Time with me and chatting with us. May you have a pleasant time. Thank you, Nature. And then what do we have? Magnolia says, congrats, Nonya. Not yet, Magnolia. I still have to do it all over again. So right now, all I need is my hours. Everything else is met. But every cycle, they take 2,000 points away from you. I usually get 1,000 back within the first 2 days. So I have to get one more 1,000. And then it'll automatically go. And this is like day 4 of this new cycle. And I'm thinking, good gracious, what do you guys want? Flip-flops? But no, I get it. I understand what was going on now, where before I had no idea. So, but that's okay. God is good, right? I thought it could have been the gentleman next to him because they kept showing him at the end of the skit. It could have been Sincerely. Shayla does look like her. She does resemble that lady, doesn't she? Especially during the scene with the guy. She does resemble Sincerely. And how come Brody didn't know who Sincerely was? Is that somebody that Angelina hid from Brody? And simply says I'm sorry, Anthony said he checked out Denisha's, he's so weak. And are they screaming about Anthony hitting on Denisha? No? It's okay? Because Amber's cheating, and he's still hitting on Shayla, and he still has a baby by Shayla. Anyway, George, that's what I mean by whitewashing Anthony. Anyway, and we are anti-cheating, but we're watching skits, so let's let them skit. It's bad. I saw a comment on a random skit without Amber. The comments, one said Amber. No, I don't want. I'm going to pass that one simply. I really am, because I don't want anybody to get triggered by that. Who was the guy that was following them? Yes, a new skit dropped. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe to Nonya's Chat. It is free to subscribe. Magnolia says, my niece Kiki recorded Libby. Oh, I thought we reported that yesterday. No, I didn't. But yes, Kiki is the smartest one in the room. She sure did. Got her to confess. Marion says, hi, artists. And this is George Sims's wife, everybody. Her name is Artist. Please say welcome to Artist. Please. Okay. And Nature says, Dolly, good morning. Dolly, how are you? Abby, Amber lives rent-free in viewers' heads too. Even before all of this, when Shayla did what Shayla did and they started that affair, it was so much pro Shayla. How are you going to pro somebody climbing in bed with another woman's husband? I guess people do it and don't see anything wrong with it, right? Shayla is trying to stop Rome from finding drunk Piari. Magnolia says, hi, artist. Sabrina said, hi, artist. Gwen says, welcome in, artist. Artist, welcome to my family. If you want to come, I'm here. I'm here in the morning, and I'm here for a wind down, WINE, even though I don't drink. Some days I feel like it, but just some days. Nature says, George Sims, good morning, artist and George. Thank you for being with us this morning and joining Nonya's tea with me. And Simply Abby says, Like it was such a wild comment. Even the people saying Amber, old and worn out, this new hostility has helped me decrease the amount of skits I watch. I just watch things I don't find absolutely ridiculous. hmm I saw somebody say something about her being old also. Oh, I know. I had already mentioned it, but one of my subscribers did say, well, Amber's over 40. She can't have a baby. Oh, no, she can have a baby if I can have twins at 42. Okay. And our grandmothers had babies after that. So, yeah. If you want to know about women's bodies, come on in and we'll talk to you about it. We don't mind. I don't. I'll talk to you. You want to know? You want to grow? I'm here. I'm not a teacher. I'm not an educator. I only have a driver's license and a passport. But I'll teach you. Come on in and ask some questions. Okay? It's fine with me. Guys should know anyway. You would think, right? I mean, why not? They got to live with you, especially if they're your husband or your wife, your husband. Life be life in. It is what it is, especially when you get married or if you're in a long-term committed relationship. And then Wayne has no comeback other than, do you have a man? Do you have a man to woman and how much he pays for it? Like Anthony and Iman, it's all about the money. And you notice Wayne didn't present that to Roan. You think he read Roan or just he didn't want Roan with Piari? I always wondered about that too. Dolly says hi simply and hi Sabrina. Abby, mental abuse is an unwell thing. Yes. And quiet is kept. Comments can be abusive as well. And that's why, I mean, this isn't like really it's not a safe space because it's on social media, but it is a place where we're not doing all that. For what? It's like it's triggering enough. There's enough triggering going around. I don't need it. And I'm not going anywhere. Abby, mental wellness is a thing. Carolyn says Wayne was making fun of his voice, just disrespectful. That's not Jesus popping. Abby says Wayne is no substance. Carolyn, look at how he used the Bible to justify his appalling behavior. And the thing that he reads in the Bible simply is the book of David and Bathsheba. And that's what this storyline looks like if you think about it. And Uriah is probably their marriage. That was Bathsheba's husband that was sent to the front lines a few times. Shayla is going to be upset. She gave the car back. Shayla thinks she's the brilliant mind these days of Skitland. He tried to throw a big dig at Dee, and Dee was trying to get off the streets like Wayne did. But I just don't understand why the dad prefers. Well, I understand why he would prefer Dee to Wayne, but why prefer Dee in the first place? Dee is straight up, or he was. He's a straight up banger from the West Side, right? You know what I mean by banger, right? Straight up banger, but you prefer him for your daughter? Why would you want either one for your daughter? Gwen says, please join Nonya Monday through Friday mornings at 9:15 Pacific Time, 12:15 Eastern Time, 11:51 CST for Have Tea with Me. See my teacup? I decided to do something for you guys because I missed you on Saturday. Well, I did do one on Saturday, but on Sunday I didn't see you. And I actually missed you. And then I went and said, oh, let me go find wine glasses. And I found wine glasses. So, and then also, would you join me if you can, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and then 9 o'clock CST. I do a wind down Monday through Friday. Once in a while, I might jump in on a Saturday. I'm trying to see how it works because I am married And I've ignored my husband long enough, but he's been patient. So I have to say thank you. And I give kudos to him because he's been very, very understanding. So, um, new skit. Faith goes off on one of her teachers. Well, she might get expelled before graduation next week. To keep it up. Dolly says, "Hey, Mary, most of the countries are anti-Black Americans anyway." Like I said, Magnolia, who's the audience? When you look at the countries, you can tell. Oh, Marion, thank you. Marion says, "I love your channel, Nonya." And a lot of these people, artists, you probably don't know unless George told you. Um, I used to be on O'Neill TV and as a moderator. And then I just mentioned to O'Neill that I wanted to start my own channel because after looking around and watching, I said, I can do that. And I did. I just did it. So I just ran into that one hiccup, which is haunting me. I mean, it's getting to a point where it's literally haunting me. And yeah, and it even goes to Russia. Hmm. There's a whole list of countries that get these skits. Yeah. Welcome in, artists, to Nonyasis Chat, Buttercups, and Chatterers. So we had Artie. There's Artie right there. Good afternoon, Nonya and Buttercups. Well, we still chatters, though. We're chatting away, Artie. Artie liked chatters, and we like that too. And then for some reason, I was saying something, and then I heard it somewhere else, so I changed it. And then I thought about my grandpa, and that's where I came up with Buttercups because he'd always call us Buttercups. And I have fond memories of my granddad. Wayne used Tamera and then turn around and laugh at her in front of her dad. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Artie. I'm glad to see you. Carolyn Brown says people have stereotypes about Black people no matter what. Racism is alive and well. The patriarchy is alive and well. Sexism and misogyny alive and well. There are women pygmies who support this. And I did say 57% in the last election were women. You see that, and I don't talk politics here, but yeah, I just wanted to put that number out there who agree with what Carolyn just said, or participate probably is a better word. Yes, you see the twins are not graduating. Yes, Antoinette, all this time they thought they were. And just like little Brooke thinks she might not be pregnant because of that test, she needs to go talk to Shara and tell her mom, you might want to, I need a checkup before I go to college. Because that test could be wrong, as we all know. And then Marion says, weaker, sure to listen to Wayne's conversation with Anthony about Denisha. Wayne told him women are God's greatest gift. He always says that, but he treats them like garbage. He said that to Amber, and remember, Amber told Anthony that before he tapped out. Mm-hmm. Carol, hi. Welcome in, Carol CC. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Diamond Rodriguez. How are you? Carolyn and Angela, I agree. Wayne doesn't show fear of the Lord with his rebelliousness. God does not play. And I even hate using the word God. I'd rather say Skit World, Skitland God, or Wayne's World God. I don't like doing that, you know. Dolly says, hi, Artie. Mary, Nonya, I like your channel. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. I truly do. Simply says, Angela, I was appalled when he kept trying to give back the car keys. Like, grow up, Wayne. He's not suitable to be with anyone. He's not a nice person. He lacks wisdom. Clearly, he's not reading that Bible. I'm telling you, the only stories, the 3 times lately that he's been in his Bible has been about David and Bathsheba. Now, we equate that to Wayne, our to Dave. I'm sorry. What if he's thinking about himself as being David and Amber as Bathsheba? Because Amber did lose one baby already. The marriage I see as Uriah, and the marriage is going to fall because Uriah fell. Maybe that's what he's thinking about. Not Dave, but thinking about Wayne and Amber. You guys probably thought of that, but I just did. I got Dave on the brain. Hi, Dave. Hi, Pie Guy. Anthony is calling, talking to Denisha. Diamond says Proverbs 1 through 7, KJV. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And I'm not gonna kid you. I don't play with God. I mean, I even apologize if I don't pray. And I'm like, I don't want God mad at me. And I'm serious. I do not. So I really go out of my way to just behave, just do the right thing. And then Mary says, this is a laid back channel. And that's what I want it to be. Now, when the skits pop off, if we're not doing the tea or the wine, then we might cut up a little bit, but we're not rude, we're not disrespectful, and the moderators know that they can remove comments. And if a person keeps it up when they come in here, that they can put them in timeout. I never ban anybody, but we're not here for that. We're not, because these skits are going to get ratchet. And then Carol, thank you, Mary. Lauren, she's a different breed from the rest of the women. Carol, I said that in the beginning, and it was like, no, they're all the same. And I'm thinking to myself, Lauren is not the same. Lauren is different. They might all want money, whatever, but Lauren likes toxicity, and Lauren likes danger. She thinks she's in control of Dan. She's not. Lauren gave Dan Delicia's address because she's jealous and mad at Amon. Oh, trap star. That very well could be. And then had the nerve to ask about the flowers. Has King seen her flowers? None of your business. You're in this woman's house asking her questions. She did that on purpose to cause problems. Trap star. I think you're right. And then Dolly says, hi, Diamond. Diamond says, hi, Dolly. Mr. Big and Stephanie's law enforcement family member told Lauren this early on. They did. Mr. Big definitely told her. The teacher told Hope she doesn't get paid to put up with her. The twins are going to info threatening the teachers. Like that's going to do them some good. Ben said Melissa was a psycho. He did. He called her a psycho. And I think Lauren actually is falling for Dan and don't realize it herself. And Carol, I think you might be right. Diamond says, Mary, Tamera will also need to start cooking for him. That was the biggest mistake. She has been showered with luxuries and claimed from day one, so she should have started cooking classes by at least week 1. So, Diamond, I do agree with that, but please know that's not the reason that he broke up with Tamera. He broke up with Tamera, I think, personally. I think he broke up with Tamera. You see how fast he did it? And 20 minutes? All her stuff was in her car, most of it, because he found out Amber is dating. And then that's when Wayne said he's going to be on the podcast and he's going to ask questions. You know why? Because his shady self wants to know who Amber is dating. Now that's part one of it. Part two, he claims it has to do with her cooking. True enough. I mean, the least she could have did was cook. Now I did have a problem with, like, why doesn't she cook him something? Even though we know chef always leaves food, right? So why not go in the refrigerator and warm something up for him? That was Shayla in her head. I mean, Shayla never told her not to cook, but the other seeds that Shayla was planting in Tamera's head made Tamera feel like I'm all that now. So, and like Tamera said this morning or yesterday, something about cooking when Shayla asked her. Like, I used to cook for Damien and he never came home, blah, 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 blah. That's carrying trauma from one relationship into another one. Just because you cook for Damien and Damien didn't come home. And in Wayne's defense, Wayne asked her to cook. That's all he asked for was food. And I will say that in his defense. But the rest of the behavior, I think kind of from both of them, um, they just didn't mesh. They didn't mesh. They never went anywhere. She asked for Valentine's. He said no. Or, flowers or something. He said no. So I'm going to leave that one alone because that's a touchy topic for people. Let's see. Yeah, she started the classes, but it was too late. PRE called him last night. Oh, and got her location. Leave that man alone. She broke his heart. He's in his car. We saw him in his car, and the lights came back on. The man had been crying because she was so ugly to him. I don't know about Georgia, but here in California, these girls are 18. There would be no option of coming back next year. They would be going to John Adams Continuation School or something like that. Yes, you go to continuation school in California. Miss Faye is correct. Caption of the new skit, Roan is trying to make PRE leave with him. Now he sees that either she fell off the wagon or she was lying in the first place, right? Antoinette says, good afternoon. Donna Robinson, hi. What's happening? I hope Roan finds out that PRE is drunk. Shayla's trying to cover it up, but Shayla enables her too. She did try to take the drinks away yesterday. I will say that. But did she try to take it away because some guy sent them, or supposedly some guy, or did she try to take it away to help PRE? I'm not sure which one it was, or maybe it was both. And then Wayne doesn't do holidays, but he will shower his women with gifts throughout the year. The thing about it is Valentine's Day is not a holiday. Valentine's Day is the National Lovers Day. I mean, I personally don't really care about Valentine's Day. I just never have, but I get he doesn't like Christmas and New Year's, all that stuff. I get that. But Valentine's Day, women like Valentine's Day because it's the Lover's Day. That's why women like Valentine's Day. And maybe guys too. But me personally, I don't really care about roses and candy and dinner because like Carol says, we do it anyway. But yeah, I've never been a big Valentine's Day person. Don't just bring me flowers on one day, February 14th. So I don't know. I just never got into Valentine's Day. I may buy you a card or something, but I'm good with it. But it's not really a holiday, but it's the Lover's Day. And guys do tend to at least buy you some flowers. I wonder, he probably didn't get any for his mom. I don't know. They were pretty poor though. Or what's the word I'm supposed to use? Humble beginnings. Wayne doesn't do holidays, but he will shower his women with gifts. But the one thing I did notice, Carol, also, is that after that 50,000 dollar initial date. They didn't do anything together, like nothing. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't do anything. I mean, what was that about? I didn't understand that part either. Like, okay, I purchased you, and that's all there is to it. I'm giving you $30,000 a month to be quiet, keep your mouth closed, and just be here and exist. Is that what that's about? What was that about? Somebody let me know if you have an idea. What was that? Ron is in Shayla's house. They are lying, but on his way out, he sees the liquor receipt. Hi, Eklund. How are you? Hi, Nonya. Wayne needs to be by himself, just like Anthony. Wayne brings no substance to him other than his money, just like Anthony. They're telling him she had food poisoning. When you are drunk like that, you reek of alcohol. It takes a minute to get alcohol out of your pores. I've been drunk like before, not like PRE though, but you smell like alcohol. It's coming out of your body. They can go to summer school online, but they are so arrogant. They're going to be humiliated in front of the whole school, especially Brooke. At least Brooke is going away, so if she's pregnant, they won't know about it. Maybe. Unless Isaiah tells them. Isaiah's a hot mess himself. But yeah, I mean, they only have to go to summer school online. They are just that arrogant, Carolyn. You're right. And then Simply says, I think Wayne was using the cooking thing as a whipping tool. Yeah, he was just over her and found a way. That's what he did, Abby. That's exactly what I saw. He just threw that out there and then said something about the ring. Was about, he said the game, because we used to call it the life, but he said the game. And talking about he's buying the ring. He just made up a bunch of stuff because he was over it. He wanted to be done with it. And he had just stopped talking to Amber about the podcast. And that's why I put those two things together. Because you've been with her this long. You guys haven't been doing anything together. But now you talk to Amber. And I see why Tamera would feel away. Because you talk to her and then you come break up with me. I can see that. But it wasn't what she thought it was. But neither was Amani. She treated Amani like garbage. And Amani had no interest whatsoever in Wayne. Like none. Simply said, yeah, I read that one. I'm sorry. Sincerely, um, maybe, maybe, maybe sincerely is Shayla's biological mom. But why is she coming back? Shayla's in her 30s now. Carolyn says hi, Eklund. But yeah, I agree, Donna, because Angelina was definitely shook. Mary says, Nonya, exactly. But I'm also wondering, I hope she didn't steal Shayla from that lady, from Sincerely. Like, steal her? Something happened. And who's Joe? Who is Joe? Shayla's dad? Shayla actually did not want PRE to drink at all. No, she didn't. Yeah, that's true. She used that for an excuse, I think. No, Shayla didn't want her to drink. That is true. Miss Fatale says, as a single woman, I love Valentine's Day. I love the attention, the flowers, and all that. As a married woman, I don't need $200 roses. Put that $200 on the light bill. I agree. I agree. I don't need $200 roses. A simple I love you works. I told you guys what I did to my ex because I was so used to him sending me flowers. Now, this is a person who didn't care about Valentine's Day. However, I'm so used to him sending flowers to me, so used to it, that he didn't do it one year. And me and my girlfriend bought this beautiful, beautiful, like I don't know, some flower arrangement. And she wrote a secret admirers card, put it in there, and I took my flowers home. And I pretended I did this. I pretended I thought they were from him. He must have took those flowers to the dumpster. He was furious. But I was like, well, did you buy me flowers? Lo and behold, he did. But he tried to switch it up. So I was being a brat, I guess. Yeah. But I was mad. I was like, he didn't send me flowers to work. But, yeah, I did that. I managed to get in a lot of mischief. Marion says, I think Anthony is going to sleep with Denisha just to get a release. And then he's going to be done with her. He thinks he's going to be done with her. Denisha, she ain't the one. Diamond says cooking for Wayne is a love language for him. And it is. And I think that's why, you know, remember when he first did that date? Everything was about Wayne. Remember? And we did talk about the fact that Wayne hardly asked her any questions about herself. He only talked about Wayne's world. And that to me was a big red flag. He didn't hardly talk about Tamera at all. Shayla actually did not want Pierre to drink. That's true. I agree, Nonya, about the drunkenness. Thank you, Marion. That's what I thought. He didn't smell the liquor in that room because you're going to smell alcohol. And that girl she was loaded, like loaded. Wayne, to tell Tamara that he could not go out in public with her. That's why he did things at home. But she was never there. She was never there. I mean, there was a lot they could have did at home. I agree, Carol. He is a known figure, but they didn't do anything. They just didn't. Okay, Abby says exactly, Nonya. Brought her into Wayne's world and left her to drown. He did take her around his family, and he hadn't done that before, right? Am I correct? He had never taken anybody around his family that I remember. I'm probably wrong, but he took her around the family. And the grandmother did tell her, don't believe Wayne. And I mean, anyway, inequality time. Same with Anthony. He kept hanging out with Amon, Lauren, and Delicia. Paid her no mind. Wayne says Wayne will care for them, but he doesn't take them out for dates. Just like he set that up in the backyard, which was cool. There are many celebrities. They go out, they have their bodyguards, and they take their women out. So for me and Wayne, that's an excuse. And I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Because I hate to say, when we went out, my ex had bodyguards. But we went out. Just saying. Exactly, Nonya. He brought her into Wayne's world and left her. Wayne will care for them, but he doesn't take them out on dates. Amber wanted to be out in the public and living the time of her life with him. Tamera was more out alone. New friends, Toya and Chantel. Lauren was completely wrong for giving Dan the address. Stranger danger. Lauren is not a real friend. She knows Dan is crazy. She brought him to Delicia's house knowing he was aggressive with Delicia before. When King stopped him, he threatened to kick over the table at the restaurant. Angela says, I am still here watching. I was wondering, did you go to sleep, Angela? And Carol says, I think I heard Wayne on the podcast. He said he loved for a woman to cook for him in real life. And then Dolly says, Nonya, I'm cautious around people I don't know. Me too. Very. I am. But I mean, as far as going out, I mean, I married a person that was drafted into the league, and he felt the same way. I mean, but when we wanted to go out, just us, he had a couple of bodyguards. And I don't like that kind of life. I like regular life, just regular stuff. I don't need all that other nonsense. And I had said that. I was vocal about it. We could stay home. But, to each his own. I can't complain. Yeah, Joe was the man from New Orleans. And if you look at Sincerely, she just has that French black look to her. Wayne got rid of Tamera to make himself available for Amber. Yes, Trapstar. And that's why he was telling Anthony to pursue Denisha. Wayne has been in their marriage ever since Anthony. No, even when Anthony was gone, he was hitting on Amber. Remember, he took off his clothes in Amber's house. And Amber said, "What are you doing?" Mm-hmm. So he's been in that marriage because he never wanted it to happen. And then Abby, Diamond, I hear you. Tamera was spending all her time with Shayla, who would drop her in a hot second to serve her man moldy food, moldy toast with strawberry jelly. Who does? Oh, I guess she never checks the bread, right? That was the grossest toast I ever saw. Saying moldy food and putting silly ideas in your head. Mm-hmm. And then when they went to Beverly Hills, it was like that was Shayla's house. Not Tamara, the girlfriend, but Shayla, the girlfriend. And then Trapstar said Wayne will go after Amber after the divorce full speed. He's going to run right smack into Dave. That's going to be good. He will tell Anthony. It doesn't matter because they are divorced. He's going to tell Anthony, I think, Trapstar, if he finds out at the podcast. If he finds out at the podcast, do you think he'll tell Anthony? Or he'll just use it for his own benefit? I wonder. It doesn't matter because they're divorced. If they're divorced, it won't matter. That's his way of still doing business with Aunt, but getting his wife. Wayne is dirty. Dirty, dirty. Dirty, dirty. Wayne is trying to clear all passages so he can get back with Amber. Yes, Carol. Abby. Carolyn, he can't smell the liquor, I guess. Him and Annie got no sense of smell, as Annie can never smell that Shayla smokes. Yeah, it's pollen, right? Anybody ever smell pollen like that? Hey, Hemi girl. Anybody ever smell pollen? Wow. Hi, Hemi girl. How are you? Good to see you this morning. Good to see you. And Hemi girl says, hello, chat. Marion West, Anthony hesitated when Wayne said that men need affection and they need a woman. Wayne said he wasn't going to stay in the phone and talk to him all day because he needed to call her and talk to her, to Denisha. And then Carolyn says he threw them out like Shayla threw out the roses. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Nature says, Nonya's story time is learning, and also don't play with her. Let the men know. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Carolyn says, I don't know. The elders say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Well, it's one of the ways. And especially if you feed him dinner and he curls his toes, what can I say? It's true. That part is true. About the toe curl, and people laugh, but it's true. My husband said, I said, why your toes curling? He said that means it's good. And that means they like it. So maybe a lot of men do that. I don't know. Marion says, Wayne He's going to have us sad because Amber doesn't want him back. Dave is doing everything for Amber he wants in a man. And I just hope, you don't think Amber's going to backtrack, do you, to Wayne? Please tell me no. I mean, because even though what they're doing is wrong, this guy is on point, except for what they are doing wrong. But I did like him telling what's her name this morning, Danielle, Melissa. I confuse the two girls. I do. Melissa looks like she should be Danielle, and Danielle looks like she should be Melissa. Carla says, to my knowledge, Wayne never told Anthony that he broke up with Tamera. He hasn't until I guess yesterday. He had never told him. And yes, I believe Wayne is trying to get Anthony with Denisha so he can go after Amber. That will be an epic fail. Amber is Dave's. Dave says, baby girl ain't going nowhere. And Anthony better not do anything to her. Wow. Trap star. Women are objects to Wayne. He doesn't really want them. It's the thrill of the chase. And there are people that way, women too. Once you have them, then there's no more chase. There's no more fun. And there are people like that. Okay. Wonder how Wayne is going to get rid of Dave, because Dave is a different breed, ain't weak-minded like any. And Dave brings qualities Amber wants and needs. Going back to Wayne would be regression. Hemi Girl says, Anthony really thinks Wayne is his homeboy. You know, he is about the least smart person and worst husband in Skitland. He really is. Wayne don't like talking to Anthony like that. Wayne likes talking to Amon, but not to Anthony. Because Wayne and Anthony have always been competitors, number one, for the women. And number two, it's like they just have this frenemy, something. For Carol says, for Valentine's Day at my church, the single ladies get together and we just enjoy each other. And the organized give each of us a gift. We also do arts and crafts. It's really nice. And again, Valentine's Day doesn't have to be about roses or flowers and chocolate. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could just be being here together and spending a special day together. Just, it doesn't have to be wine and roses, basically. It really doesn't. But when you get used to one thing and then you think your husband forgot you, that's a different story. Because when I tell you I was mad, I was mad. It was like, what do you mean? He didn't send me nothing to work, because I was used to it. I didn't know he was going to surprise me. I never would have expected it. Anyway, he took Gina. Oh, he took Gina because the grandma told her to run. Wayne's sisters are friends with Queet. And I wonder how close was Queet. I think Queet was the best friend, right? Were Gina and Queet, and I'm not trying to get in Wayne's business, but was it Gina and Queet that were best friends? I think so. But anyway, I don't know. Hi, Eklund. Dolly says she never required him to take her out on dates and court her. Sabrina, closed mouths don't get fed. I mean, quiet as kept. Wayne could have bought a restaurant. He could have bought a restaurant if he wanted to take her out and stuff, right? I mean, Wayne could have done more, but he didn't. You don't need no bodyguard for Valentine's flowers. I love that, Janet. Janet says you don't need a bodyguard for Valentine's flowers. All she wanted was some flowers, and relationships are compromise. You mean to tell me you're just not going to ever compromise? How are you going to be married to somebody and you don't know how to compromise? But then Wayne's girlfriend is what, 30 something? I mean, his dad's girlfriend. She is like 30 something. But I bet he buys her some flowers. Just saying. Janet. I like that. That's cute, Janet. You don't need no bodyguard for flowers. Tamera says, I'm sorry, Sabrina says, Tamera, I need my glasses, my God. Sabrina says Tamara should stay at her apartment and not live with him. I guess she wanted a taste of his lifestyle. Yeah, why would you just move in that man's house? Why didn't you stay in your own house? Moving too fast. Angela says, I am at work, a little busy today. Okay. Okay, Angela. Do you, girl, do your thing, make your money. Get that money, as Dave put it. Get that money. And Magnolia says, Wayne's not moving Dave out of the paint if he ever thinks he can. Triplet. Amber's not playing about Dave either. Mary says, you're welcome. You see, Amber ain't thinking about going home at night. Yes, Amber said, I'm still getting a divorce. Forget that. I don't care about the. But Anthony doesn't care. He's not questioning where have you been? What are you doing? Why did Rome take the receipt at the end of the last skit? I don't know. I didn't see it, but maybe he took it for proof. Carolyn says, I wish Wayne would stop writing himself like all the women in Skitland want him with his puny little self. Cut it out. Y'all behave. Dolly says, hi, Hemi girl. You guys crap me up. And Dolly says, hi, Hemi girl. I like to watch the lives again. Please do, Dolly. Please. You know what? My target is Sunday. And so you can imagine the pressure I'm putting on myself. Because this is the beginning. And if they shouldn't say no again. They really just don't have a reason to. They truly don't. If they move that old era out. And it sounded like they were going to, but I don't know. They probably got how many people they have on YT. Hemi said Anthony proved how corny he is today. Hemi girl, I gotta watch it after we're done. And I do think I'm gonna come back 2 p.m. my time. Not your time, but 2 p.m. my time. Because I got up at 5 o'clock. You guys were already up at 8. And I am 3 hours behind you. So the black assistant principal is on the unhinged twins cases. Good. Wayne kept telling Tamera to feed him. Yeah. But if you really think about it, like, and this is just a question. If you really think about it, he just wants her to cook. But what else do they do? Like, does he do? He wasn't doing anything with her. She'd come in, he'd be sitting on the couch, laying on the bed. Wayne is an old soul, and he's calling Tamera 90s fine. What did he think that young girl was going to do? Nothing? Did he really just think she's just going to want to sit around the house? Really? She's too young for that. And he's only 37. He's an old soul. Tamara's not an old soul, but she's supposed to sit there with him. Like, I don't know. The problem is Wayne is the writer, and he's the owner of this conglomeration. Exactly. The twins aren't disciplined enough for online school. That's true. Donna, yeah, they're not. And their mom's going to be at work. You're right. So they don't have summer school at school anymore. They just have it online. Is that it? If I were them, I would rather go to a continuation school, not to the regular high school. They're going to get teased so bad. Carolyn says, I certainly agree with you, Carol. I'm sorry, Carol said, I certainly agree with you, Carolyn. Wayne writing himself to be the man that all women want in these skits, like he's the only man in the world. That's, yeah. Those men that love the thrill of the chase are called hunters. What do we call women? Because we have women that are like that. Once you capture the game, it's no longer any fun. It's no longer any fun. Nature says Carolyn Brown. Maybe this is why Wayne sees himself as King David and have the women. It is Wayne's world. But he wanted Bathsheba. He had all these women, but he wanted Bathsheba. And he was determined to get Bathsheba, even if he had to destroy her husband. Just like the Dalton marriage. You are right, though. Shy Lady says, is it just me that felt a little skeptical about Dave's statement this morning when he told Melissa, no, I thought that too, that he's strategic with everything he does. No, Shy Lady, I felt that. I don't know what I felt about it, because the way I decided to take that statement was that he's strategic with Amber in that he knows what he's doing with Amber. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, he did use that particular word. You are not the only one that picked it up. I definitely picked it up with you, Shy Lady. Definitely. Yep. He used the word strategic twice. One for the business, and he said, and he's strategic with Amber. Amber is a target. And what he does it strategically. Whatever it is that he's doing with Amber, maybe it's to make sure he keeps her, you know, and does everything that he has to do to keep her. But then it could be a downside to being strategic with a woman. So I did pick it up. Erica, Sarah writing for themselves, remove them from pining away for Wayne forever. And then Anthony is obsessed with his biggest op, Wayne. Yes, he is. It's called Please Lay on My Couch and Get Help. Donna Robinson, I always wondered why Shayla isn't business savvy. She can't speak Spanish, and why Angelina overcompensates. Something terrible for Shayla. And Zachary's the complete opposite. And then Nature says to Hemi Girl, he wanted the food, but it needs to be more than just food. Exactly. Where is the substance? Where's the chemistry? They could be cooking together. Exactly. They could have been cooking together. Not a reason to let a woman go. But he didn't. He used that because he wants Amber. And we know it. I mean, he got rid of Tamera so fast after Amber left. I felt bad. I had secondhand embarrassment for Tamera. It's Wayne's way or no way. And that's why he calls it Wayne's world. Yeah, no, Janet, I agree with you. I agree. Totally. I totally agree with you. And then, no, Janet, I totally agree. Ant needs to leave Denisha alone, trying like he's back at the Players Club. Why didn't he just go back to Rain if he's that desperate? Nonya, my ex gave me candy every other week because he worked offshore. He gave me special gifts throughout the year. All of that didn't buy my happiness. No. It takes companionship as well. Yeah. One of my brothers, her ex was an offshoreman. And they have the most these two have the most beautiful marriage. My brother and his wife. I love my sister-in-law, but the first that was an offshoreman. Mm-hmm. And she gave up her apartment and stayed with Wayne. That was not smart. Hey, Layla, what's happening? Yeah, that wasn't smart. You don't do that. Don't give up your house for anybody. No, because now you're stuck. Janet, Wayne needs to eat. He's got a chef. He needs some fat on his body. He's going to turn into bones. Amber told Anthony that you want the world. He wants Wayne's life and lifestyle. Mm-hmm. He does. He wants to be this businessman in the world like Wayne. Anthony is dysfunctional. He's hoping Amber will get her fun out of her system and stay with him. He's being delusional too, Trap Star, because Amber is out. Maybe he really thinks that. And like he can accept it if she comes back to him. He can't even deal with Wayne, which was 3 years ago. And palling around with Wayne. That's just ludicrous. You mad at your wife every other day about it, yet Wayne's your best friend. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. And you know what? That I don't think is part of the bro code. I don't think so. I mean, guys are cool with each other and stuff, but that cool? George, are you here? Are guys that cool? I hope not. Janet says he has a top chef. Wayne shouldn't be complaining about food. Nah, he's just complaining because he wanted to get rid of Tamera. But, I mean, the couple of times that he did say, can you look and see what's in there, she took it as a joke. And that right there, I was like, you might not want to take that as a joke, Tamera. Like she said, there was what in there? Something. Nonya's deadline, May 31st to get what you need. I'm going for before May 31st. What is that Sunday? No, that's my deadline, yes. Because what if if they say no again, then I still have time. Because it's a 28-day cycle. I'm not playing with these people. I'm not playing with my channel. I literally work my fingers to the bone. I mean, I make sure everything has a title, a description. It's not duplicated. I mean, no film footage, no nothing. I removed 51 shorts, Carolyn, that had music. And I still found one yesterday. I was like, how did I miss this? But I did. I had so many shorts. And I had been systematically taking them out because I didn't want the page to appear spammy and I didn't want to overuse music. So I took them out. I did save them off. So if I do put it back, it won't be all at once because I don't want it to be a spammy page, even though all of you guys, for the most part, love music and you know I do, but I want my page to be in compliance. So Carla, please come back at 2 p.m. Send a notification. Oh, you're so sweet, Carla. So Carla, if you live, it'll be what time? 5 o'clock? 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be 5 o'clock your time. Are you East Coast? So 2 o'clock p.m. is my time. And that gives me time to go do a few things because right now it's 11:14, right? So thanks, Carla. I will come back. Hopefully we've seen some more good skits. He wants some Tamera cooking. Maybe so. I mean, maybe that's his way also of getting attention because he loves when Amber cooks for him. I mean, he's just like over the moon when Amber cooked. Like the last time she was there, he just had a good time eating. He was just eating away. The one thing Amber can do is how she learned how to cook vegan food. I mean, I know she knows how to cook, except she probably learned how to cook rice by now. We know Amber burned some rice in a minute. He wants Tamera to cook. And that's really the only thing he ever even asked her. And to drop Damien. You're right. That Wayne for sure is an old soul. He is. He's only 37. He's 37. Hi Sharon. Good morning. Sharon Rico Review is in the house. Sharon says hi, Nonya mods and chat. How are you doing? We are doing great. We are doing great. Just going over the skits. We're doing skit day today. So we're going over the skits from yesterday and this morning. How are you, Sharon? Let's see. Marion West says, I remember when Amber was in Spain, Victor asked her about Anthony. Victor told Amber that Anthony was a predator. That's a good point. I had totally forgot that, but okay, I believe you, Marion. Wayne didn't want him. He wanted Delicia. Tamera was sloppy while she was living there. She just got sloppier and sloppier. Her hair was never combed. Clothes made no sense. He picked her when they were under the stairs at Shayla's house. And they ordered food. They didn't order him any. And Delicia was still playing hard to get because of what Shayla told her. So what did he do? He chose Tamera right there under the stairs. He went for Tamera. Miss Fatale says, didn't Wayne do the same thing to Amber? Sarah got to him because she was cooking for him. She was cooking and making them vegan food. Carly told Lauren to learn how to make vegan food. But Amber knew how to cook, though, the vegan food. And when him and Amber, I don't know if that was how Sarah got to him. I think it was a little bit more than that because Amber always cooks. So, not sure. So I can't say yes or no, but other women see it. They do study your man, Miss Faye. Absolutely. That's why, I don't know, single women, you might want to check who's around your man. Even if it's your sisters, cousins, doesn't matter. Carolyn Brown said to me, it just wasn't food. They have no chemistry. She had a problem with all of his exes. She had a problem with Lauren being in the special too. Amber cooked for Wayne too, Miss Faye. Thanks, Magnolia. Marion, I felt that he was talking about his business. He made it about his business when he said, remember when he said he was married to the life or the game? He threw that in there. But if he was married to the game, he was married to the game when he got with her. So that was just, icing on top of the cake. That's all that was. I think strategic means he knows she's getting a divorce. He's prepared for what comes. Got it, Carolyn. Got it. Thank you. Magnolia says Dave said something along the same line with with Alex, in that she's not playing with his emotions, telling Dave one thing and another to her husband. Yes, Magnolia. And he also stated the lawyers are involved. You're right. Marion says Anthony wants to be like Wayne. That's why he's friends and calls him for everything. I think he also calls him because Anthony doesn't really know how to do certain things when it comes to women. But yeah, that's his bestie. Him and Ben. I think I read that. But yeah, I think strategic means he knows she's getting a divorce and he's prepared for what comes. And that makes sense because there are two avenues that can be taken. One is a yes, one is a no. And Carolyn said, someone said, Zachary said, Shayla, yeah, even Angelina says Shayla doesn't speak Spanish, but doesn't know why she won't speak. Oh, she does speak Spanish, but not on the skits because for some reason they don't want Shayla to know Spanish on the skits. I think that reason is called sincerely. Women that chase men for the thrill of it, it is called old time. Go sit your tail down somewhere. They didn't say cougars back then. What they call them? Hussies. They call them hussies. I remember my grandma and them used to call them women hussies. And they also called hunters just for a good laugh. Carla says, I believe that when Dave said strategic, he has plans for Amber. I don't know whether it is good or bad. However, Melissa knows that Dave has never had another woman staying at that house. Wayne broke up with Heated Pot Saturday morning, Sunday. Oh, Amber came over on Sunday to find out who the mystery man was. Okay, so it was the next day. Thank you, Magnolia. And then also he said to Melissa, with everything we've built here, nothing is going to get me off my game. So he gives her props, but it's always about work, right? I hope he's not playing my girl Amber. I don't think so. I don't. Remember, he also once told Amber the grass is never greener. Now, I did pick up on that because there's probably something that's hidden. I just don't think it's Melissa unless she's really that much of a doormat. Can she really be that much of a doormat? Like, really? For real? For real? I don't know. I guess I don't see Dave. I don't see Dave doing that, but that could be just be my imagination. But there is something to Dave. There's something there. Wayne said twice that Anthony hasn't brought in any money in business. But he lies and tells Amber that Anthony does. Now that's bro code. Wayne and Nature says, Nonya, I think Anthony low-key is hanging out with Wayne to keep an eye on him. We've said that, Nature. Yes. Now Amber is divorcing him and becoming available, even though she has her one that she chose. He wonders if it is Wayne. He's always wondering if it's Wayne too, right? Always. And then, oh, somebody should take the song out and play it for Anthony. I got a copy. You guys want to use it? That song is fire. Sharon says, hi. Everybody say good morning to Miss Sharon Rico Review. Please. Dave has been the gardener shy lady. Magnolia, cut it out. Magnolia has been the gardener shy lady. One of the very first things Dave told Amber is anything he puts his energy into, he expects to flourish. He's interesting. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. It's about time to wrap it up. Sharon says, hi, everybody. And then I read that one. But when he ever discovers Dave Ant's face, I already see it. I'm trying to imagine it, Nature. I'm really trying to imagine Anthony's face. I want to see him on the phone talking to Delicia because, whitewashing Anthony. Anthony and moved on to find him another woman. Shayla doesn't want to cooperate. Let me try Denisha. Somebody's going to give it up, right? That's Anthony for you. RD says, Wayne turned me off with the way he did T. He kicked her to the curb. He did. I felt bad for her. Thanks to her dad. Hopefully she can move on. Tamera is going into a deep depression. Tamera does look like she's going into a depression. Because I don't think Tamera understood, like a lot of women wouldn't understand. If you are paying a woman to sit and be with you, wouldn't you ask, why are you giving me this allowance? I mean, I know rich men do that, but Tamara didn't know she didn't think to ask. She asked no questions. I would have been like, why are you trying to give me all this money? What do you want? You know, I'm a skeptic. You do anything sideways, I'm going to look at you funny. But she didn't ask. Sharon says hi. Carol says the way Dave described Amber and talks about Amber, it could go either way. It could be good or it could be bad. The grass is not greener on the other side. He does it strategically. Let's see what happens next. Yeah, that's what we're saying, Carol. Just like when Shayla bought that cake and it had green grass and brown grass. So let's see how it goes. Wayne to tell Anthony to call Denisha, knowing Anthony is married and yes, going through a divorce. But yes, he encourages Anthony to do it. And yes, Anthony goes and calls yet another woman because at this point he's thirsty. If you're that thirsty, just go to the strip joint or do whatever it is you need to do. But yeah, he's encouraging him, man, just go ahead and get you another woman. You're back. Atlanta is back. Atlanta is still married. Atlanta was married when he got with Shayla. But Wayne is over there kikiing and having card night and game night with Piari and Anthony and Shayla and all that nonsense, a whole different life other than him and his wife. Okay? Yeah, that part. For Wayne to tell Anthony, yeah, to call, that's he needs to stop playing with God. That's what he should do. Oh, yeah, Chef Gully, that's her name. Okay. Carla, I totally agree. And Magnolia says Aunt will be shook and tight-faced at the sight of Dave. He will be. And Sharon says, hi, Nonya. Hi, Sharon. The chef isn't there 24/7, but the chef does cook the food and leave it for him, right? And then she always leaves it. So Wayne, he'll be 39, so he's 38 now. Oh, yeah, his birthday just passed. That's right, Magnolia. And then everybody's saying hi to Sharon. Awesome, Nonya. Good. That's good to know. Marion, and you see how Wayne complimented Amber. The first thing wait a minute, hold on. The first thing she saw she was putting together. I'm not sure, Marion, about the comment. But anyway, it's a little jumbled. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to tell me, Marion, my dear. And Carolyn said Victor would know he was trying to get a green card, so he wasn't much better. Mm-hmm. And Wayne will be Dan's new target. Yep, he's coming for Wayne. Anthony is a predator, and Victor was a con man trying to get a green card. Players know each other, even if they are going for different things. Players know players. Talking about Wayne, I was talking about Dave. Okay. Mm-hmm. Dave did compliment Amber when he first saw her. Yes, that's true. Yeah, Wayne's going to be in a world of trouble when he meets Dan or when Dan jumps out of the bushes. Dan's going to jump out of the bushes, you guys. Oh, Wayne. Okay, talking about Wayne and Dave, I can't wait to see Wayne kidnapped for real. Magnolia, what am I going to do with you? Magnolia, I can't wait to see him kidnapped for real. Sarah had a picture of his mom made. Oh, she did? Kind of like Piari did that nice gift as well. Shy Lady says that Magnolia, I want him to be a good man that Amber needs. So I hope he's trying to flourish that relationship. And then Miss Fatale says, maybe it's just me. I just don't like the word strategic. when a man is describing a woman. I think he should have said intentional. Um, well, yeah, I understand the use of intentional, but I think strategic means grass green on one side and brown on the other. What if her divorce goes sideways and she changes her mind? So, in that regard, I don't like the word strategic at all, but he's got to look at both avenues, right? And intentional is to drive a wedge through no matter what. So, I think that's the difference that I see, but I could be wrong. I'm just saying. Strategic is, do I go left or do I go right, depending on the color of the grass. Intentional means he is intentional, mind you. He is definitely intentional in his movements. That is correct. But how far do you go being intentional? You don't want to run into a brick wall. But the word strategic does bother me. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It makes me question what was meant by it. So I think Dave is going to help Amber glow up after the divorce. Remember, when they were at dinner, he was telling Amber the keys to opening a new business. I do remember that, Marion. And when Dave sees, he's going to go cry. He's going to be crying in the car. I should watch Friday today. He's going to be in the car crying. I think I will turn on Friday. Red's going to be in the car crying. Let's see. I'm going to go turn on some, I'm going to cut out, guys, because I'm going to come back at 2. But what I was going to say, I'm going to go turn on some technology. Okay. Really, Marion? I think so, Shady, Shy Lady. I don't think Sincerely is Shayla's mother. I think maybe Joe was her husband and he's Shayla's father. Kind of like Angelina. Maybe so. Because Joe is somebody. Yeah. But why? I mean, well, I don't know. But they're definitely tied to Shayla. We know that. So I'll wait till we get some more facts because it's a good guess. I'm going to wait until I see a little bit more. Alexis says Tamera will be getting King Wayne and her G-Wagon back. Alexis, bless your heart. Alexis wants them together. She always has. Well, you know what? Maybe Wayne will wake up. Maybe. We don't know. Okay. Magnolia said he told her the grass isn't greener 2 times before he pursued her in this way. Dave was strategic about making sure Amber didn't hit the open market. Now that I remember us talking about because he said a businessman knows basically a good deal. I'm not calling Amber a deal, but an opportunity. And he wasn't letting it get away. He did, Magnolia. And Wayne is a witness for Anthony going after Denisha. Carol says, hey, Sharon, Wayne could accidentally let Anthony get himself sent up the creek and lose all his money for Amber in a divorce settlement because this would be Anthony's second affair. It would be his second affair, not first, but second. And then Dave told Amber he was intentional about her. He did tell her that. He said he was intentional. Please join me 9:15, 12:15 Eastern, 11:15 Central Time. And then also 7 p.m. Pacific Time for Wind Down. And then 10 o'clock Eastern and 9 o'clock CST for the Wind Down. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It's a good channel. I love it. And I really love the wind downs because by then we are exhausted. So I don't think we'll be dancing and cooking and talking about music anytime too soon. Okay, triplets. And then I'm going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Marion, yeah, Denisha slightly leveled up. She looks great. Denise is a beautiful girl. But she is not about that nonsense. She's still short, even though some of her stuff is still all too short. She is cute. And then you notice how soft Amber is. Yeah, a good man will bring out the feminine side of you. They just do. Look at what Diesel did for Angelina. But they do. Nonya, love the live. Bye, Buttercup. Bye, Chatters. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. See you at Wind Down. I'm going to pop on later. Okay, so please look out for my banner. And then finally, Donna says, I sure hope the writers don't allow Lucretia and the twins acting up to change them grades. They better not. Okay, see you later, Magnolia and Miss Fatale. Dolly, I think so. We're on the same page about the perception of what's to come. And you guys are probably right. I don't doubt you all. You guys are excellent, excellent interpreters of the clues and what's not there, what's said and what's not said. Okay, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Magnolia. Dave is secure in his masculinity and takes leadership. And, you know, that's what it is. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully they have some more good, if they have some more good videos on, I'll be back on in a little while. Okay. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye, Simply. A woman is a reflection of the treatment from her man. Absolutely. And you can always tell how we feel by how we look at each other and our aura. And Dave is making Amber is taken care of ever since, in every sense of the word. And with that, that's a bar, and we are out. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. And thank you, artists, if you are still here. Thank you, George. Bye, Iris. Talk to you later, love. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you, Nature.